People gained new abilities as a result of various meteorite strikes in today's anime world, and they are now known as Genestella, and Integrated Enterprise has taken global leadership. So the anime starts with Hayato Amagiri catching a handkerchief that fell out of a window. So he went there to return it, but Hayato arrived just as Julius was changing her clothes. She kept her cool and told Hayato to turn around as she quickly changed her clothes. Julius was grateful to Hayato for returning her handkerchief because it was very important to her. But she was still enraged because Hayato had seen her while she was changing, so she officially challenged Hayato to a duel under Academy rules. But because Hayato was still without a weapon, a random guy gave his weapon to him for the duel. Julius was ready to beat Hayato as the duel began, but she realized as Hayato dodged her attack that he is not a simple or average student. So she used a blasting fire attack, and instead of dodging it, Hayato faced it head on. But someone tried to kill Julius in the middle of their duel, and while Hayato saved her, he accidentally squished her breast. So Julius was about to blow up, but Claudia intervened and took Hayato away to complete his transferring paperwork. She appeared calm and polite, but she is a very perverted young lady. Aside from that, Claudia informs him that the Sidalcan Academy desires his assistance in winning. Other academies include Gararworth, Erlecont, J. Long, Queensvale, La Wolf, and their own Sidalcan. Compete for supremacy in a tournament known as Festas. But Hayato wasn't interested. He only came to the academy because his sister Harika was also a student at Sidalcan. So Claudia showed him the information they had on file at the academy, which stated that she enrolled 5 years ago but dropped out after 6 months. Aside from her weapon, Sir Versta, also known as Ogrelocks, all data were deleted. However, there was another reason for him to come to the academy, and that was to find his life's purpose. That being said, Hayato was in the same class as Julius, but Julius was not very friendly, but as a thank you for saving her, she promised she would do the same for Hayato. So Eiichiro, Hayato's roommate, gave all the information on Julius. Julius is a princess of the European country of Lyseltania, as well as a very rare strega in Genestella. But she has never been friendly since she enrolled in the academy, and this due to her temperament. Many people attempted to defeat her in a duel, but they all failed, and she quickly rose to the 5th rank, page 1 of the academy. But as they were walking toward their dorm, they noticed Lester, the 9th ranked student, getting angry on Julius for dueling with Hayato. Because he desired the opportunity to defeat her, but Julius was not interested because she had already defeated him 3 times in a row. However, because Lester did not bend down, Julius revealed her true colors. When Hayato intervened to stop them, Lester backed off. But Hayato was curious about her reason for fighting because she is a princess. Julius tells her that her reason was to earn money through Festa, but the Festa has a tag team rule. But Julius didn't have any friends to participate with, and her ideal partner was also a dream. As for the favor she owed Hayato for saving her, Hayato requested a tour of the academy. Julius didn't dodge this one and promised to give a tour of the academy as well as a tour of the town on her day off. On another day, however, the new student next to him was Hayato's old friend Saya. They split up when she moved to study abroad during her childhood. They were both catching up when Julius reminded Hayato about their academy tour. So when Saya offered to give Hayato a tour, they got into an argument. So, in order to avoid further conflict, both Julius and Saya decided to take Hayato on a tour. So Hayato went to get a drink, and Saya asked Julius why she was giving Hayato this tour. So she told her about their duel and how Hayato saved her, and Saya told her that if Hayato had fought seriously, she would have died. But Julius didn't believe her. They were attacked again shortly after, but Saya blew up everything with her weapon. Then the discipline committee began their investigation, but Julius refused to cooperate despite the fact that someone wanted to kill her. So now Hayato was on his way to choose his weapon with Claudia. So, Lester was also present for weapon selection, and Lester chose the same weapon as Hayato. But no matter how hard he tried, Lester couldn't be compatible with Sir Versta. It was as if the Ogrelocks weapon had its own mind. Sir Versta then attempted to attack Hayato, but Hayato eventually tamed it, but only while using his full power. So Claudia invited Hayato to her room late at night, and Hayato arrived, but the situation was too stressful for him to think clearly. Claudia displayed the Phoenix Festa participants, but they were all attacked and forced to withdraw. And the committee suspects Lester and Andy, with Julius as the next target. And since Hayato is getting along with her, it would be ideal for him to protect her, so Hayato agreed. Then, as a reward for agreeing, She was about to go crazy, but Ayato fled. So, as they toured the city and took a break, Ayato advised Euless not to engage in any duel for her safety. But Euless will not listen because she has her own agenda. Then Lester returned to cause trouble with them. And Lester lost his temper once more, but his lackey stopped him. As they approached the academy, students from La Wolf were fighting. But it was all for show because their real target was Euless, but defeating Euless and Ayato wasn't easy. But they were just hired goons, and the true perpetrator was on the sidelines. Both Ayato and Euless attempted to apprehend him, but he escaped. So Euless invited Hayato into her room, and when he arrived, she asked Ayato to remove his cloth. Don't get the wrong impression, she only wanted to sew Ayato's torn clothes that were torn while Ayato was attacked earlier. Then Ayato saw Ulysses' picture of her childhood friend. She then reveals that she was a troublemaker as a child and used to run away from home to play. However, one day she got into trouble, but the children of the orphanage saved her. Then they became friends, but the orphanage's funds ran out. Euless desired money in order to save everyone from the orphanage. Despite her status as a princess, she is unable to obtain the funds because their country is run by integrated enterprises that seek profit. Euless received a letter from someone on another day, so she left right after classes ended. Claudia later informed Ayato that the letters were written by the attackers. So Ayato was depressed because Euless did not believe in him. But she did it because Euless cares about him, and she didn't want to put Hayato in danger. As he was leaving to save Euless, Claudia gave him Sir Verasta. Norman, Lester's lackey, on the other hand, was the one who was constantly attacking Euless. Norman's goal was for Euless to leave Festus, but when Lester showed up, Norman ordered his puppets to take down both Euless and Lester and show it as if they died dueling each other. They were persistent no matter how much force they used on those robots. Both Euless and Lester were outnumbered by those robots, as Euless correctly predicted that Elegant had hired him to do this. But Ayato arrived and saved Euless. However, Euless was shot in the leg, so Ayato carried her and released his first seal to use his true power. With it, Ayato entered another level and wiped out all robots. So Norman tried to flee, so Euless used his power to track him down, and in the end Claudia was already waiting for him down there. Then, all of a sudden, Ayato was shackled with his sealed chain, resulting in a worse attack that rendered him unconscious. In the past Haruka used her powers to seal Ayato's power with her celestial chains. So Euless was concerned about him and asked about it. Hayato tries to avoid it, but seeing Euless was serious about it, so he reveals everything. Ayato revealed that it was her sister who sealed his power, and he could only use it for about 5 minutes. Despite this, Ayato wanted to be her Phoenix Festa partner, and she agreed after Hayato told her that he wanted to protect her. As the story progresses, Ayato was on his way in a hurry when he accidentally ran into a girl. Both of them were polite to each other and parted ways. Ayato was in a hurry because it was time for his training with Euless. But Lester and Saya arrived as well. Lester was there to express his gratitude for saving him in his own unique way. Claudia, on the other hand, arrived with 2 special guests from Erlikant, Ernesta and Camilla. They came to sign a weapon development agreement with Sai Dauken, despite the fact that Erlikant was the mastermind behind the Norman attack on Euless, and Ernest admits it was her creation. When Camilla saw Saya's weapon, he recognized the model and told everyone in detail. Saya's father was cast out of Erlikant and even the Ferrovius Institute. And as their representative, Camilla bravely insults Saya's father. Saya wanted to team up with Ayato for Festa to prove her wrong, but Hayato was already partnered up with Euless. As the story goes, Ayato was gathering information on Erlikant form Ashiro when he noticed the same girl was being abused. So Ayato intervened to save her, and it was Kirin's own uncle who was abusing her. So Koichiro saw the Ayato data, but he changed his mind when he saw the Ayato weapon. He challenges Ayato, promising to treat her nicely if he wins against Kirin. Ayato accepted his duel challenge. Ayato was powerful, but Kirin was much faster. Despite this, Ayato was able to dodge her, but Kirin won the duel. So Julius told him that Kirin was first ranked in rankings and just 13-year-old. It was hard to believe her age. And at second place was Claudia, an Ogrelocks Vilder of Pandora that allows her to see 10 seconds in future. Unlike Claudia, Kirin, however, only used a common steel weapon, a Japanese katana. So Hayato went to Claudia for a new school badge, but when he saw it was all wet, he was lost. The news of Hayato and Kirin's duel reached Claudia, who informed Hayato that her uncle is a key figure in the Galaxy enterprise that runs Sidalcan Academy, and he is now aiming for a high position using Kieran's talents. Claudia was well aware of this because her mother was also one of them. Kieran then met with Hayato to thank him for standing up for her. As Hayato accompanied her to her dorm, Kieran explained that she was tolerating her uncle because she had her own goal to achieve, which was to save her father. Aside from that, Kieran discovered Hayato uses an ancient Amagiri fighting style that is similar to her own in their duel. So Hayato invited her to train with him. She was shy at first, but she was eager to do so. So, on another day, while Hayato and Kieran were jogging, a thick fog surrounded them, and a small monster began attacking them, but Hayato's attacks were ineffective, though Kieran discovered its weaknesses and dealt with them. But the ground beneath Hayato erupted, and while saving him, Kieran fell in with him.